Hey guys, what's going on? Seandollwet here, and today I wanted to talk about my daily routine. Now, I used to work a lot less before when I was first building my Kindle publishing business, and now that I'm, wanting to scale up my business again, I'm putting in a lot of hours, and I'm really focusing on the best way to be productive. And I'm learning a lot of, tips and strategies on being productive that I wanted to share with you, and hopefully, you can take some some tips that you can maybe apply into your life and maybe be a little more productive and increase your productivity. First off, if you're new to this channel, please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you find the video to be helpful. I mainly make videos on passive income and how to make money online, specifically with Kindle publishing and affiliate marketing. And sometimes I make videos on mindset, productivity, those kind of stuff as well. But anyways, let's get started in this video. So what is my daily routine? So right now, this is my daily routine. I do this every day, except for when I work a job, 3 days a week. But the other 4 days of the week, this is what I do every single day. So I wake up at 7 a.m. The first thing I do is I drink 64 ounces of water. If you don't know how much 64 ounces is, I basically drink two of this. So this is 32 ounces, I think. Um, and the reason why I do this is it actually wakes you up if you drink a lot of water in the morning, but it also kind of flushes out the bad stuff that you accumulated overnight. So it really helps, it's super healthy and it helps you wake up and get focused on as well. But I do that first thing in the morning. So from 7 to 8 a.m., it's kind of like me just getting ready for the day. So I brush my teeth and do, just normal morning routine kind of stuff. But the difference nowadays is I don't take my cell phone with me. I used to watch like YouTube, Netflix sometimes. I go through my emails and social media first thing after I wake up, and also during this time, which increased my anxiety by a lot. And also, the blue light coming from the cell phone screen really affected my eyes. My eyes get tired really quickly and it was messing me up, and it, lasted for the whole day. And so starting off with my cell phone, checking my cell phone and checking my emails. It was really, really bad, like, mentally and also physically too. So I stopped doing that, and I find that it's much better and my focus is a lot better if I don't, go through my cell phone the first hour of the day. But from 8 to 11 a.m., that's my morning work session. So what I do is I learned this from Robin Sharma. But basically, I do the single most important task that needs to be worked on that day, right? So whatever the task is, I spend at least 90 minutes, and up to 3 hours just doing that one thing. I don't check social media, I don't do emails, those kind of stuff. And this really helps getting things done, being productive. So this is one of the most important tasks that I started implementing in my daily routine. Um, so yeah, again, going through my email, social media, first thing to do when I worked. I used to do that, which was extremely unproductive. And the big part of it is, replying back to emails, replying back to social media messages. It's usually not urgent, and you think you're getting things done, right? But if you reply back to people, they will reply back to you, and then now you have another message you got to reply back to, and it's just never ending. So I reply back to people a lot less now, and that's because I'm trying to be productive and get stuff done. All right, so 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I work out. I really want to start working out first thing in the morning, because that's a good thing to do. But I actually work out outside, and that's when the sun comes out. Like, because I work out in the yard, and just the positioning in the building and stuff. That's when the sun hits my yard, and I want to get the sun when I work out. I don't go to the gym or anything like that to save time and money. I just work out. I've always done body weight training and whatnot. So yeah, just working out in the yard is fine, and I try to get some sun and doing two things at once. Multitasking, but in this case, it works out for me. So from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. I shower, and then I lunch and I eat my lunch. That's the first meal of the day because I do intermittent fasting. So I eat my first meal at 1 p.m. and my second meal at 9 p.m. So I fast between 9 to 1 p.m. That should be 16 hours. So I do the normal 16-8 fast It really helps me out. This I've been doing this for like years now. I think like 3 years. But it saves a lot of time because I don't have to cook the third meal or the breakfast. And it increases my focus, especially in the morning. You know, you think you'll be all sluggish and tired when you're not eating and you're hungry, but actually not so much, guys. You get used to that really fast, and you actually feel more sluggish, more tired if you eat something in the morning because your body gotta use energy to burn that food in your stomach, right? So this really helps me out a lot. I recommend everybody to give it a try. But it increases focus, productivity because you're saving time, your mind is clear, and it's super healthy for you too. Doing this, you're not torturing your body or anything like that. It's actually good for you. So from 2:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. it's my afternoon work session. Sometimes, I'm washing dishes and stuff. It goes to like 3 p.m. or so, but it's around there I start working. Um, I go to the library or Starbucks to work, and the reason why is because I used to work in this room that I'm filming right now, and I found myself to be very unproductive. Just like just now, I got a phone call, and it keeps distracting me and going back to my phone, and I start, like watching videos and going through social media and stuff. So I started doing this where I started forcing myself out of my house. I put myself in like focused environment like Starbucks, library, right? And it really removes any distractions. Everybody else there is working, especially at the library, so it kind of puts yourself into that in the mood, I guess, to get stuff done and be productive. So that's what I started doing recently. But 7:30 to 9 is dinner, so I come home, I cook dinner. I don't eat out, so I just make my own dinner, and from 8 to 9 I usually start eating. That's when I'm finally done for the day, so I relax and watch Netflix and kind of slow down my mind a little bit. Um, from 9 to 10 it's just normal, you know, uh, end of the day routine stuff. Brush my teeth, take a shower, uh, do dishes, those kind of stuff. And from 10 to 11, I am reading a book. So I have a couple books um, up there, a couple down here. But it's all some kind of like self-help or business book that I'm reading. And, so at this point, right, at 10 p.m., I'm done with my cell phone because, if you stay on your cell phone right before you sleep, it really affects your sleep because of the blue light, and your mind is wired again and whatnot. So I stopped doing that as well, and I replaced that with a book. And I started reading my book right before I sleep, and it really calms you down and helps you get a lot better sleep. And you retain a lot of the stuff that you read right before you sleep too. When you sleep, your brain organizes everything you read right before, uh, or so I think. I read that on a study one time, but so it helps out in that learning aspect as well. But these are what I found to be the most helpful, like I said, is to getting 8 hours of sleep, right? Anything less than that, my mind is clogged for the whole day. And I think a lot of people say that they can function with 4, 5, 6 hours. I think some people can do that or maybe get really close to being function, but I think a lot of people, they're just telling themselves that, when in reality I think they'll do better with an 8 hours sleep. And of course not everybody can do that depending on their situation, but I would suggest everybody to get close to 8 hours, just because of what I read about sleep. And I've studied a little bit about this, and 8 hours generally is always the sweet spot for most of the people. So the other one is doing the most important task the first 1.5 hours to 3 hours of work. Not only will you be more productive doing this, you will be much happier. If you're like me, you'll be much happier and feel accomplished compared to when you were just busy replying to emails. So here's the thing. I'm really, really happy, like at the end of the day, when I know that I've accomplished so much and I've made so much progress in my business, right? And doing emails and social media and wasting time, it was getting pretty depressing because I felt like I was working a lot. I felt like I was keeping myself busy, but when you look at the actual task being done, nothing was being done. So when I focus on the actual important task for the day, get that done, at the afternoon work session, I can do the emails replying and social media replying, and I was a lot less. Uh, I felt a lot less guilty doing that, and I was much more productive and felt accomplished. So yes, so that's what I would recommend as well. And intermittent fasting, definitely recommend this. Everybody should do this. Some of my friends tried it and they said that they cannot function with 2 meals a day. It doesn't work for their body. I think they're just BSing, making excuses again, because it works for a lot of people. Of course, it's not 100%. Some people, may not be compatible with this, but I think for a majority of people, you should definitely try it at least once. But only eating 2 meals a day saves time, and I get to eat bigger portions, when I do eat, right? Because you're skipping one meal, so that however much calorie that you're supposed to eat for that first meal, you can put it into your second and third meal, or in this case, your 2 meals for the day. Um, so you can eat bigger portions, and when I do eat, it keeps me full and satisfied, right? Because I'm eating more each time I eat. So, and I don't even gain weight. So the last one is forcing myself into a focused environment like Starbucks or a library. Definitely helps eliminating distraction and increase productivity. All right. So that's the 4 days a week, right? Because the other 3 days a week I do have a job. So when I do work a job, this is what I do. So I have to be at my job 7 a.m. So I wake up at like 5:30 and get ready, and I bike to work. It's like 15 minutes from here. 7 to 2, I work on my job. Of course, I eat lunch at 1 p.m. around here. But my job is kind of like my relaxing time. I'm a lot more stressed and anxious at home working on my business because, just my personality, I'm more of an anxious guy. And my job is just talking to people and just uh, helping them because I'm a concierge. So yeah, it's kind of like my relaxing time, rewinding time. But anyways, from 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m., come home, I get ready, I work out, and from 5 to 7:30, I take a shower, and then I work on my business for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe, and then I eat dinner, and the same thing for the other, like the end of day routine is the same. So basically, I only work for like 2.5 hours these days when I do have my job, and it seems to work out. I don't have a lot of tasks. If I am really productive on the other 4 days, I don't have a lot of tasks for these 3 days. So it works out like it balances out. All right, so hopefully you found some tips that you can implement in your daily routine, because you know what, I'm not trying to say that you should do this because I work a lot. I'm a workaholic. I like working and I like feeling productive. It really makes me happy, but I know that not everybody's like that, and not everybody has a lot of, uh, doesn't have responsibilities like me, right? Some people has kids, got a girlfriend or a wife, right? So or maybe a full-time job, so you can't do what I do. But if you can just take some parts of what I do, especially like the focusing on the most important task first thing in the morning, or the first work hour that you do, those stuff will be very helpful, I think. And yeah, so I really recommend you give it a try as well. So if you found this video to be helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you haven't, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.